Hi, everyone. I'm Rebecca Waller, the dietitian at the Cancer Survivorship Center at Lutheran General Hospital in Park Ridge, Illinois. And I was asked to share with you some information. Often comes up is what do I need to do as far as diet when it comes to dealing with cancer, whether you are someone who was recently diagnosed with cancer and is going through treatment, or someone who is a cancer survivor and now wants to make changes that are going to be lifelong and keep you healthy. So I'm going to share with you my screen and give you a little bit of a breakdown to help you make some better choices. So when it comes to healthy living during and after cancer, research shows that making positive lifestyle changes during and after treatment can really help prevent a recurrence or a secondary cancer. So many survivors are more likely to develop chronic diseases. I mean, as we age, due to treatment, just due to genetics, different things come up. Often you don't have one singular medical problem in your life. There can be problems with obesity or being overweight, heart problems, like, congestive heart failure, coronary artery disease. Some treatments for cancer can lead to thinning of bones or even bone breaks. Also can just happen with osteopenia as we age. There's issues that can be with high blood pressure or even high cholesterol and diabetes. And that just names a few things that can come up. So you want to make sure that you're doing the best that you can to manage, your health conditions, whether it be, conditions that occurred due to cancer or any other health condition that's come up as you've gone forward in life, and make sure that you are keeping yourself healthy. So, eating healthier food. You can never separate diet from the importance of our health. It doesn't mean just because I'm diabetic, I eat one way, and if I have cancer, I eat a different way. We're really trying to merge this together and make sure you recognize that healthy eating can be a universal approach. There might be certain little factors that will vary from one person to another, depending on what conditions they're managing. But overall, don't feel like you're burdened with following multiple diets. It can really just be one thing. When we look at expert recommendations, eating a plant based diet is becoming the top focus when it comes to our health. And that's really focusing on fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Whole meaning minimally processed. They haven't taken away all the fiber, they haven't taken away the healthy fats, that we're really getting as close to nature with those grains as possible so that we can reap all the benefits, including the mass amounts of vitamins, minerals, and natural phytochemicals, which can help fight disease. Trying to get 5 or more servings of fruits and vegetables. So a basic, and this is, it can vary a lot depending on, your height, your weight, your age, like what you need. But in general, 5 servings, meaning about 2 servings of fruit and 3 or more servings of vegetables per day. A serving being about a cup, or if you ball your fist or what you can fit into your hand, that's generally 1 serving. So most of us don't get enough of it. Fruit, maybe. Vegetables, I look at a lot of diet histories, and a lot of times people miss out on the vegetables because we're not taking the time to plan for them, prepare them, even buy, the vegetables to have in the house. But these really are key at providing a lot of nutrients that we need and giving it away that's actually very low in sugar and lower in calories. So more vegetables, everybody. When you're choosing whole grains, an easy approach when you're like, most of the time if I'm eating wheat or I'm eating barley or buckwheat, you're not seeing it in the form it was grown. So we really need to learn to look through the labels and figure out, is this a whole grain and is this a good choice for me? So I always tell people, if you flip over and you look at the nutrition label on there that tells you the portion size, the calories, you want to look at the dietary fiber section. You want about 3 grams or more, because that means it's retaining some of the original structure of that grain so that you are getting the benefits. So it's kind of a quick little check. You also want to limit processed foods and red meats. When it comes to processed foods, like we already mentioned, when you're taking away a lot of the integrity of the original grain or plant, you're missing out on key nutrients. You're also making that food much more easily digestible, which could mean it could lead to overeating because they don't really naturally fill you up. You can get a large volume in a short period of time. It can lead to higher blood sugar levels or insulin levels because the natural carbohydrates that will digest into sugar will get into our bloodstream much quicker since it doesn't take very long to digest them in our system. So, and for sure, easy examples of that are going to be whenever we look at sweets or chips, or even looking at some of these, healthy looking foods like juices or teas that have a lot of extra sugars added to them. Anything that's putting more of a sugar in it is something that you really need to be mindful about not having too much of. Limiting red meat. Part of the reason being there's a lot more saturated fat when it comes to red meats. So you want to have that on the lower side. For heart health, we say about 6 ounces a week. As far as a cancer survivor, it would be in that same realm, maybe a little bit more, maybe less. But you're always safe going with more poultry and fish, and for sure, focusing on plant-based foods like a lot of beans. You can do a lot of the whole grains to get your protein. And alcohol. Alcohol is one of those tricky things. We all like to know, not everyone, but some people like to have a drink, but we want to keep it on the moderate side. More and more data is linking, higher alcohol intake to certain types of diseases, and definitely can be a risk factor for certain types of cancers. So for women, that means one alcoholic beverage a day or less, and for men, two a day or less. So less is more. We definitely want to, do more in the way of water, and less in the way of anything that's providing extra calories, sugar, or alcohol. You know, because there's a higher risk with certain types of cancers and treatment, the results of the treatment of having some bone loss or bone problems, you want to focus on getting more foods that have calcium in them. Calcium intake is we're above, 50 and above, we're looking at about 1,200 milligrams a day. Some people like to get that in a supplement. That's best if you're maybe getting about half of those needs in a supplement, but really trying to get calcium in natural foods is a great way for absorption and making sure that you are getting the best type of calcium for you. So dairy products, if you're doing milk or cheese, yogurts, those are great ways of getting calcium. One serving, an ounce of cheese or a cup of milk or 6 ounces of yogurt, and give you about 300 milligrams. A lot of times if you don't use, cow's milk sort of dairy products, there's a lot of alternative dairies. So with almond milk, soy milk, rice milk, a lot of these have been fortified with calcium so that you can still meet your calcium needs without using dairy. Fish that have bones in it, like herring, would be great. Or here we have sardines. Beans and legumes are a great way of getting calcium, and green leafy vegetables. So there's a variety of ways without having to just think, oh, I need to have milk. Being more physically active is another key to making sure that you're warding off future problems with cancer or other health conditions. Being more active can help reduce anxiety and fatigue. Just getting out of an enclosed space, being out in nature, getting your mind off of an act of what you're worrying about, what you're focusing on for work or family, is shown to be, getting out and just taking a walk can be incredibly helpful for reducing anxiety. Can also improve self-esteem. You recognize, I was able to accomplish that. I went from being able to do only a short period of exercise, and now I'm seeing my body get healthier and be able to do more. It can increase positive feelings with the release of serotonin as we're active. Definitely improve heart health. The recommendation for a healthy heart is about 30 minutes a day of any type of activity that's getting your heart rate up a little bit. For sure, with healthy weight. A lot of times if you're, due to age, due to activity, due to diet, if you found that you've put on some extra weight, that increases our risk of having a lot of issues with disease and also maintaining, certain statuses of diseases. So we want to focus on being at a better weight for ourselves. That can vary. You can always ask your dietitian or your doctor, what's a good weight range for me? But knowing that activity is key in order to maintain that. Diet is very important, but you cannot accomplish everything you need to do to lose weight and keep it off without also adding in exercise. And it is definitely important for activity for boosting our muscle strength and endurance. Another way to help keep our bones strong is by doing weight bearing activity, which would be exercise, walking, squats. Doesn't have to be super heavy weights, but that is, great for maintaining bone health and also maintaining our muscle mass. And our muscle mass is what's giving us energy to move around every day. We want to have lean, strong, healthy muscles. That helps make sure that we stay healthy and your body is able to do everything you need it to do. So, tips for starting exercise if you aren't already active, or maybe you've been inactive for a long time, is start with just a few minutes, a short period of time, 10 minutes a day. Maybe you're going to start at like 5. Sometimes it's a matter of just getting up, putting on your gym shoes, and walking towards the door of the equipment. You do that enough times, you start building in a routine. So, doing even a few minutes to start is a great way to start leading yourself towards a healthy habit of being active. Eventually, you want to work your way up to about 30 to 60 minutes a day if you're able to, but you just have to keep pushing forward. Listen to a book or music while you're being active, follow a video on YouTube, or join an exercise group in person or on Zoom, or exercise with a friend or family member, making this sort of a joint venture that helps keep you on task so that you can accomplish your goals and you can help others reach their goals too. So, in closing, when you're looking at the importance of diet and exercise, it is key for having both of these as a lifestyle choice when you want to prevent having any further issues with cancer or other health problems in the future. Make it fun. You know, Eating right doesn't have to be drudgery. There's beautiful fruits and vegetables, awesome grains that you can put together and make them into tasty foods. You have to retrain your palate. And with exercise, don't think of it as a task you have to do, but find something you like and it will be a task you're looking forward to. Putting these two things together should keep you happy and healthy for a lifetime. Thank you so much for meeting with us today. And I hope that you have found some good information in this. Bye.